VK7NW2 portable.
VK2 Mike Romeo X-ray.
VK2 Mike Romeo X-ray, afternoon or good evening. Name's Scott, Sierra Charlie Oscar Tango Tango, and if you've heard the mail, portable at Round Hill Lighthouse, over.
Yeah, got all that, Scott, mate. Yeah, very good. I wasn't realising that was coming up this weekend, but perfect timing, mate. You're, I just took delivery of the Icom IC-7300, so just set her up, mate, and you are my first contact, mate, so perfect opportunity. Thanks for being there. Can I just get a report, mate? How's the audio and all that sort of business, over?
Yeah, good. I better grab a name. You're probably about the 15th person I've worked in the last 3, 4, 5, 6 months that have supposedly said you're their first contact on the IC-7300, so I've heard a heap of them now, and I think you said the name, but I missed it, over.
Yeah, no problem, Scott. Same as the last station, mate. It's Brett Bravo Romeo Echo Tango Tango, over.
And it was Mike Charlie X-ray, wasn't it?
Mike Romeo X-ray, it is.
Yeah, sorry, I'm in the dark and it's raining and there's traffic out on the road. Round Hill Point's only about 60 metres off the highway. Anyway, I've got it now, Brett. It's excellent. It's spot on, mate, over.
Yeah, thanks, Scott. It seems like the band conditions are dropping down a little bit, mate. You did come sort of about a 5.9. You're barely moving the meter now. So, all right, mate. Thank you very much for the report. Yeah, mate. It looks like these are pretty popular. I read some of the reviews and the prices have dropped a little bit. So I thought I'd jump on it the same as everybody else. All right, mate. Well, we'll look forward to getting in touch with you tomorrow and putting you in the log and saying g'day. Enjoy it tomorrow, mate. And we'll say g'day when we get the opportunity. And again, thanks for the report. VK7NWT from VK2 Mike Romeo X-ray. Cheers, Scott.
Yeah, 5 and 9, and now QS Bacon at 5 and 1, Brett. It's amazing. So 40 metres closing between you and me. 7-3, catch you tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Cheers, mate. 7-3, enjoy. See between the 7300 down the bottom here and the 7100 on top. A lot of the guys are making a lot of comments about how this radio is obviously a game changer now because it's SDR rather than being your standard radio like the 7100 is on top. The old 7100 has copped a lot of slack, or a lot of flack, sorry. But what I'm finding is, obviously I've had the 7100 for a while and I've only had this for a few hours having a bit of a play around, but from watching the reviews of the 7300, a lot of the functionality, save obviously the pretty screen, was already here in the 7100, so I don't understand why the 7300, as nice as it is thus far, is getting these rave reviews versus the 7100 here on top. As you can see from some of the comparisons here, and keep in mind that they're both on different antennas, and I would expect the 7300 to be a bit quieter because it's actually running on a loop. And the 7100 up top here is actually running on an NFED, quad band NFED. So that tends to be a little bit noisier, but does tend to boost the signals a little bit. Where the loop that the 7300 is running on here tends to be a bit quieter. The signals tend to be a little bit lower, but they do tend to be a bit more readable because of the lower noise level. So I've also got the loop running through the internal tuner here of the 7300, obviously just to take a test. I believe it only works to a 3:1 SWR, but it does work very quickly. What we'll do is we'll just jump up to 14 meg, and we'll just check to make sure there's nobody there. We don't expect anybody to be this high though, and there's not. And we'll just hit the tune button, and then we'll get the hand out of the way. And you'll see how quickly that brings that in. So you'll see they're very similar in operation. So if you touch the megahertz, you'll see where you are there, and you get the touchpad comes up. And you can do direct entry from hitting this one, or we'll go down here to the 7300, and you'll see the screens are pretty much identical. They just moved a couple of things around. Again, you can do the direct frequency input if you wanted to. 14.200 and enter. There we go. And up here we'll go direct entry again. 14.200 7200. Now this screen takes a little bit more pressure, but there you go. So by pressing and holding the whatever meter you're using at the time, you'll get this larger meter here. So people have been pretty impressed with that. Now if we go back up to the 7100 and we do the same, press and hold, and you'll find you've got exactly the same screen. So your SWR, your power ALC, your power ALC, your signal meter at the top, compression if you're running any SWR, and then I'll also show you the amperage drain, so how much power you're using there, how much current you're drawing, and we go back down here and you'll see they are almost identical. So the current, the voltage that you're getting from your power supply, temperature of the internals, and the exception is obviously your SWR meters up here on the left. I have SWR meter, which you can see that's from me playing around the other night. And you go back down here. Again, this was another one of the functions that everybody seemed pretty impressed with, the 7300. Go back down to the 7300, we go into the menu and SWR, and you can see that screen there is very, very similar. Now, so it's showing no data because I haven't done it basically, because I've used the functionality on the 7100, and I'm running through a tuner anyway, so it really doesn't make too much difference to me. Filtering. Now, if we get this into, now obviously you can just touch the filters up the top. You've got 3 presets, 1, 2, and 3. We'll go back to number 1 there, and we'll do the same here. We're already on number 1. Now, on both of them, press and hold, and you'll get this screen. And obviously, other than the pretty little colours, if we go up the top again here, press and hold, you'll see pretty much the same functionality there. And then this is how you operate it here on the left. But interestingly enough, on the 7300, they've moved this up to the top here. This, I guess, control here at the back behind your volume operates as a permanent RF gain or squelch, depending on how far it's rotated. Around about the 12 o'clock to 1 o'clock position, it goes from an RF gain up to a squelch. So if you have a look at the SWR meter here, you'll see just a little bar just under the 1. So as you get into the squelch operation of this control, you'll see that just goes along. And as we just peek over the 5, which is roughly where our noise is, you'll see the squelch comes off. Sorry, the squelch comes on. The 7100, and this same control is up here with your volume control. They've switched these around between the 7100 and 7300, and we'll just get it so we've got some noise coming through. Okay, so basically we've turned the RF gain up, and again, if you just watch at the start of that S meter, and you'll see that little bar creeping across there, just under the 5, going up to the 7 now. So again, the functionality is all but identical. You can see that that's not as much noise there, but I think that's because we haven't tuned that up quite right. So it's a little bit off frequency. So there you go. So you can see that this control is all but identical to the 7300. So that there's so much that is all but identical between these two radios, the way they operate, the controls, your menus. Obviously you've got some hard buttons here, and you've got your soft buttons up here on the screen. Rather than having that, now you've either got some buttons over here on the 7300 instead of having some soft buttons on the screen on the 7100. Alternatively, your menu items here, so you'll see we've got some options. Obviously these ones here relate to the screen, so do these ones here. If you go into the set and we go up to 7100 and we hit the set button here, you're going to find, with the exception of some of these initial ones which are digital related, D-Star related, because it is a D-Star radio, start to see that these function tone control connectors, tone control function connectors, display, are all replicated. So the menus are all but identical. Obviously, the display and stuff that you're going to get some more options on the 7300 because of the colours versus the mono of the 7100. Screens are a little bit different. This takes a little bit of pressure. They are obviously, I believe, a different technology, but yeah, they are very similar. Look, I am enjoying the 7300, but to be honest, once I started watching a few reviews, I was thinking, well, this is pretty close to the 7100. You know, let's grab one and have a go at it. So the idea is to get rid of the 7100, and it's going to pay for the 7300. But at this stage, I might be keeping both.